Everybody, I'm going to call the meeting to order. If you're able, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everybody. What a wonderful turnout. We often, as a Board of Commissioners, tease each other about sharing meetings, how quickly some of them go, and long or short meetings. Today we probably have one of the shortest agendas, but probably one of the most important meetings that we do. So we're happy to do this today. Today we're having our proclamation for the National Four Chaplains Day. And sort of the run of the show is going to be, I'm first going to acknowledge today that on February 3rd is the Four Chaplains Day here in Douglas County, and we'll have a formal proclamation today. Commissioner Boyce is going to read our proclamation. I will recognize the co-chairs of the local Four Chaplains Memorial Service, and then we will be taking some pictures with those of you that have received this award. And then at the end, I'd like to call up the co-chairs to talk a little bit about what this means and the reasons why we do it. So with that, I'm going to ask Commissioner Boyce to please read the proclamation.
So this is the proclamation for Four Chaplains Day, which is February 3rd, 2025. Whereas we recognize that February 3rd, 2025 marks the 82nd anniversary of the sinking of the United States Army transport ship Dorchester by enemy action off the coast of Greenland in the midst of World War II. And whereas we note that in the early morning hours of February 3rd, 1943, the Dorchester was crowded to capacity, carrying 902 servicemen, merchant seamen, and civilian workers. It was one of three ships in the SG-19 convoy that was moving steadily across the icy waters from Newfoundland toward the American base in Greenland when it was torpedoed by an enemy U-boat submarine. 672 young men and women paid the ultimate sacrifice in the attack. And whereas we honor the four Army chaplains who were on board the Dorchester, Lieutenant George L. Fox, a Methodist minister from Vermont, Lieutenant Alexander D. Good, a Jewish rabbi from Pennsylvania, Lieutenant John P. Washington, a Roman Catholic priest from New Jersey, and Lieutenant Clark V. Poling, a Dutch Reformed minister from New York, for rendering services beyond valor as they stood arm in arm, leading those on board in prayer, giving away their own life jackets as the ship sank deep into the sea. Four chaplains created a legacy of faith, heroism, and brotherhood that will long remain an inspiration to all who believe in God, serve their country, and love the USA. And whereas we know that the United States Distinguished Service Cross for services beyond the call of duty was awarded posthumously to each of these four men of faith, and the United States Congress, by House Resolution 90, also agreed to by the United States Senate on January 30th, 1957, set aside the third day of February each year as a day dedicated to the memory of the four chaplains and of the brave men and women who perished that fateful day on the USAT Dorchester. And whereas we recognize that throughout our history, courageous men and women have donned the uniform of our armed forces and built a noble tradition of faithful and dedicated service to our nation, we continue to draw inspiration from the heroism and dedication of those who serve and their sacrifice for the cause of liberty and justice. And whereas for more than 70 years, the Chapel of the Four Chaplains has told their story and supported the Legion of Honor Award program all across America, which publicly recognizes and honors outstanding members of society whose lives model the giving spirit and unconditional service to community, nation, and humanity without regard to race, religion, or creed, exemplified so dramatically by the four chaplains. And whereas we salute our local chapter of the Legion of Honor in their continued efforts to recognize those outstanding individuals that give back in service to our communities. We also want to recognize and honor the 50-plus individuals from Douglas County who have been awarded with this prestigious Legion of Honor award. And now therefore, we, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim Saturday, February 3rd, 2025 as For Chaplains Day in Douglas County, and encourage all our citizens to honor the four chaplains by stepping up and giving back to your communities in service.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. Well done. So I'd like to turn it over to Kelly. She has a little bit that we're gonna do here, and when it's time for pictures, please just listen to Kelly and let's get the pictures taken. So,
The local chapter of the Four Chaplains started in Roseburg in 2012 by Jim Barnett and Jim Little. The local Legion of Honor program has awarded 54 residents with the Legion of Honor Award, with more inductees coming next year. Is your next ceremony?
Yes.
Okay. In 2022, Jim Little and Jim Barnett were awarded the prestigious Legion of Honor National Bronze Medallion from the National Chapel of Four Chaplains, also an award that Commissioner Freeman has received. This honors their distinguished service and extraordinary contributions to the well-being of others, not only in Douglas County, but throughout Oregon and the United States. The board would first like to present certificates to the co-chairs, Jim Little and Jim Barnett. And then they'd like any of the other Legion of Honor recipients to come up for your photo.
so the first picture's the two Jims and me.
Jim and Jim.
Sorry, I'm not in uniform. I did not know I was going.
Surprise!
Looks like a pretty nice uniform.
Do you want to show your certificate, sir? Okay. And then any of the Legion of Honor recipients can join
All
them.
the Legion of Honor folks.
Taller,
Some
you can
down
stand
here
in
and
the
some-
back.
Some will get in the back with the
And then-
pictures.
Do you guys want to stand up on the edges?
Another picture there.
I told this to Dr. Daniels the other day, you know, I got that, she's the ODB director, you guys gave me that award. It was a mistake, I thought I was one of the juniors, Randy and Tim and all.
Yeah, well.
You're doing that, Tim.
Yeah, that's what I told her, I go, this was a mistake.
Yeah, they used to.
Yes, you do. Or me.
You need these.
Yes. How about, would you two join them?
Sheriff, how would you doing this morning?
Carmen wants to stand by her husband.
Oh, really?
There you go.
You stand wherever you want,
I
sir.
didn't hear her say that.
Rick, would you come on the inside of Commissioner?
Oh, see, there we go. Thought we were doing it right.
I left on deployment, I had
Okay,
to
and
worry
if the whole back row can shift this way.
Are we supposed
And
to
if you're in the back, stand between someone, two people in front, so that you're. There you go.
Takes more than one picture, doesn't it?
I take more. Requires an operator. I'm finished.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have, hang on, I got this, just so I got one of these for everybody.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah. Hey, Sheriff. Good to see you.
See you.
Howdy, Sheriff. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you, Tom.
What an amazing group. So, I'd like to invite up, Jim Little and if Jim Barnett wants to come with him, it's up to you guys, to say a few words, please.
Oh, that's the treasure.
No avocados, just.
No, of course.
Jim Barnett has just returned from a long, lengthy trip about the nation. He also visited some of the cutters that were involved with the rescue during the Dorchester sinking. My name is Jim Little, and I'm extremely thankful to the Board of Commissioners for your support encouragement, and involvement keeping this important message of sacrifice, courage, brotherhood, and important American history alive. You've developed a community awareness and an atmosphere of honoring our nation's veterans and a spirit of patriotism that encourages and stimulates programs such as the Four Chaplains Service. I personally thank you, and on behalf of the Legion of Honor members, and I'm so thankful so many turned out today, I thank you for this welcome and cherished annual proclamation. 14 years ago, during a discussion at the Roseburg American Legion, Larry Hill and I mentioned the Four Chaplains. We were amazed when no one about the table knew anything about the Four Chaplains. Nothing was known about the Four Chaplains' story and the sinking of the USAT Dorchester. This was a World War II tragedy well known in my community when I was growing up in the 40s and 50s. So that began an effort each February to conduct an annual Four Chaplains service. Jim Barnett, First Sergeant, United States Marine Corps retired, has been the presenter for many years. Jim has stepped down after many years, and I agree at the age of, I'm not gonna tell your age, Jim.
91.
He's 10, I was gonna say he's 10 years older than me, but he's been an amazing presenter. And he needs a step down for sure. I still rely on him for a lot of help in presenting the services, and Dan Loomis has agreed to help with future presentations, which I greatly appreciate. And I apologize to you and the community for not having a formal service this year, as I must take a sabbatical because of a number of things that prevented me from preparing for this year. But I promise the next service will be in 2026. On February 3rd this year, I hope we will pause for a moment on that day and recall the sacrifice made for us and our way of life on the USAT Dorchester 82 years ago. Associated with that service has also been the awarding of membership in the Four Chaplains Legion of Honor. There have been, as Kelly mentioned, 54 Legion of Honor awards, 3 bronze medallions, 3 humanitarian awards, and also a number of certificates of appreciation. I'd like to publicly thank Tim Freeman, who is a bronze medallion holder, for his encouragement and friendship, and also the board for, and I'm going to use some presidential adverbs, for the beautiful 2022 reception given to Jim Barnett and myself, like nobody has ever seen before. I also thank Tamara Howell and Kelly Trinkle for their wonderful work recording these events. I also thank the Legion of Honor members who are here on purpose to observe this proclamation and also to observe a special event. The Legion of Honor membership has become an excellent way of recognizing community citizens who truly make a difference and positively influence the lives of others. This year is no different. The Legion of Honor Award and membership in the Chapel of Four Chaplains is the honor awarded to persons based on documented acts of selfless service, consisting of deeds and/or actions on behalf of others without regard to their race, creed, or faith. Selfless service constitutes going the extra mile beyond what their job responsibilities call for them to help others. Membership is reviewed and approved by the Four Chaplains Board of Directors in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Some notable recipients are Presidents Truman, Eisenhower, Reagan, also entertainer Bob Hope, John Glenn, James Michener, Marian Anderson, and many more. Awardees are both civilians and military veterans from all walks of life, including many of our outstanding citizens of Douglas County that are here. And with Dan Loomis, would you kindly come forward, please? We have been given secret approval to present a Legion of Honor Award to someone present with us today. Before revealing the name, I do not apologize for keeping this name secret for 12 months, nor do the many folks who knew this name. We are exceptionally pleased to give this well-deserved award. I'd like to read the award document and then ask the person listed on the document to please come forward after reading, accept the award, and receive congratulatory applause from the Legion of Honor members and from all here. Fort Chaplains is pleased to present the Legion of Honor Award to Chris Boyce on February 2025. In recognition of your lifetime service to all people, regardless of race or faith, this award symbolizes for all Americans and for all time the unity of this nation, founded upon the fatherhood of one God. And it is signed by Howard Schaefer, United States Marine Corps veteran, Chairman, Board of Directors, and William Kamer, U.S. Army veteran, Executive Director. And
You need to go ahead and get up and go out there. Now you know why I had you read the proclamation first.
John Peterson knew about this and he was so excited about it. And Dan has something to present to you also.
So we also have a pin, and I'm an old soldier, so I like to put it on the person receiving it.
Had I known that, I would have worn a real jacket.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
But as an old soldier, I have to repress the urge to put it into his chest without the backing, as we did in the old days. Congratulations.
We stuck this on again, so it's,
So everyone who came to support this prize, would you join it?
got a whole crew coming, good, good.
Commissioners, will you flank in closer? Let's let Jim in here. You wanna be in this one? Yeah.
Here you go.
I've ruined a lot of photos today.
Get a fancy uniform on, get the picture.
There's one more you were going this morning.
Food you went pulled in the gas station, didn't you?
You ready guys for coming farthest?
Yeah, you do.
That's a dirty trick.
I want to take a couple minutes and thank Mr. Little and Mr. Barnett for your years of doing this. I have been to many of these over the years, and the amount of effort you put into vetting and honoring the right people is pretty incredible. More incredible is how you were able to keep it secret from the recipient. I will tell the quick story of the sheriff and I, when we got our awards, I was told to please come and dress appropriately, that I'd be giving an award to Sheriff Hanlon. So I think Sheriff Hanlon was told the exact same thing about me, except maybe they didn't mention to him to dress appropriately because he'd been shoveling horse stalls and showed up. But both of us were very surprised in that the trick there was that each of us were receiving the award. So a variety of ways you've done that, and it is always impressive to see. I want to thank Dan Loomis for joining and to carry on this tradition. It is important. The time we take as a society to honor those people that are doing exceptional work is some of the most important work we do as a community. So you guys have carried that on for a lot of years, and hopefully it'll continue for a lot of years. So Tom, did you have any?
wanna hear from Mississippi.
Did you don't have to speak today if you don't want, but you're welcome to.
That's all right. You know, thank you, Jim and Jim, for bringing this recognition back to Roseburg. I remember when you guys first started, we as commissioners were invited and my family and I attended the ceremony. And it was great to learn the history of the Dorchester, but also to see local people who honor veterans and do things significant in their communities be recognized for that. And I, like every one of them, I'm sure, don't do that for the recognition. We just wanna go out and help and do the right thing. And I've seen quite a few people get this award. I've been grateful for the things that they've contributed, and also, like all of them, I don't feel worthy. So thank you very much.
Well, with that, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and again, thank you all for being here.